Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah! Oh, hey them, Kaveh! What are you doing here? It's the middle of...
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Something has come up, and since it pertains to Cyrus and Sino, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning. Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after... Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are, and so are the fruits.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Sino's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What were they?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening when I went to the tavern to pick up some things. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least I...
Sounds like they're all...
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of... Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written. Give me a sec, I'll sketch it out for you. Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around, but...
Interesting. These are all motifs.
What?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found. It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem.
Whose emblem is it?
It's the emblem of the temple.
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't... This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tighnari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran...
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of...
Is everything okay? Give me a second. Let me get...
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put these days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia. At least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis. By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia...
It's possible. The real question is, why?
So, how do you know all this?
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were
If you're asking me whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office...
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of the student's only 16, and doesn't have any family ties to the desert?
You said you ran into Sino, yes? Did you tell him?
Yep. He ran off as soon as he...
Given that Cyrus is involved, He's probably... Still, we should try to catch up with him.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance... We should pay a visit to the...
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta...
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence, the emblem has to...
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them to keep an eye out for... Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me.
Sounds like a plan.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants. Here we are. This is...
We might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Sino moves fast. If he was here...
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zaha Hadid!
Wow, so it really is you. My good...
We're looking for Sino. So...
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door. I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to him. It must have alarmed Sino, because he took off in an awful hurry after...
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home...
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Sino hadn't happened... After seeing the letter, Sino told him to contact the Core of...
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him,
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public.
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool got? Oh, I almost forgot. Sino left me this letter to pass on to...
Thank you.
What does it say? Let Paimon... My friends.
Yep, that sounds like Sino. Thank you, Professor. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Acad...
You're here? I thought you were going after...
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there. Sino got there...
He didn't say where he was going?
No. He left us a letter and told us not to...
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Sino. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from